Apparently, there was a huge reveal for CN audiences yesterday. Chaos Zero Nightmare was officially showcased in CN for the first time, across all platforms, with new trailers, gameplay footage, and developer commentary. It was also confirmed that the CN version will begin recruiting for its first beta test on October 14th. And since Chaos Zero Nightmare received its official Chinese version number back in August, meaning approval from regulators, it pretty much confirms that a full CN server launch is on the way. But along with that reveal came something else: more signs of censorship and creative influence from the CN side. Take a look at Haru on the right. Her chest size is noticeably smaller. Amir now has added coverage around the chest and inner thighs. Orla's outfit has been adjusted to cover more of her upper body. And Rin now has visibly more fabric around the chest and thigh areas. And these are just a few examples. There are likely more that haven't been shown yet. Now, some people might argue that these changes look more realistic or more grounded. Sure, that's one perspective. But at the end of the day, this is fantasy entertainment. Wouldn't you rather have the design stay appealing and expressive while you play? You're here to have fun, not to debate realism in an anime gacha game. Overall, most players seem to dislike censorship and would rather see an option to toggle between versions, especially for the global release. You could argue that Chaos Zero Nightmare might not include that, since Smilegate's other game, Epic 7, never added any toggle options, even to this day. The good news is that market trends are changing. More games now include toggleable fan service or censorship options to satisfy global audiences. For example, Brown Dust lets you switch from the censored silhouette mode in the settings. Grand Blue Fantasy also includes a toggle in the options menu. Snowbreak and Nikkei, at your own risk, allow players to modify a game file to turn censorship on or off. And you could even say Genshin Impact has a light version of this concept, offering alternate character skins with slightly different designs. So it's reasonable to stay cautiously optimistic that Chaos Zero Nightmare might follow a similar path with a toggle option in the future. Now on another topic, about 10 days ago, the developers shared a video discussing playtest feedback. They mentioned deliberately reducing the darker and horror elements, making the game feel less heavy. Instead, they're aiming for a more upbeat space opera vibe, leaning into cosmic adventure rather than despair-driven cosmic horror. Considering that Chaos Zero got regulatory approval in August, this timing suggests that appealing to CN guidelines could be part of the reason for the tonal shift. Maybe feedback from earlier builds influenced this direction, or maybe the team had already planned it. But either way, it's worth noting that CN approval aligns closely with the game's change in tone. This raises an important point. Adapting for CN guidelines may indirectly influence Chaos Zero Nightmare's creative expression and storytelling, as previously mentioned. Things like gore, sexualization, or controversial themes might be toned down, not necessarily for artistic reasons, but to fit within the standards. It would be a shame if that limits the original creative intent just for market safety. So what does all this mean for Chaos Zero Nightmare going forward? We can safely expect some level of CN influence in its development. That means story tone, art direction, and certain character designs may all be filtered through those guidelines. On the bright side, though, there's still a good chance the global version might get an optional toggle system. Developers are clearly aware of global feedback, and adding a toggle is relatively simple from a development standpoint. It's an easy way to give players more freedom while technically following the same regulations. So I'd expect that feature, or alternative outfit options, to appear sometime after launch. What do you all think? Are you concerned about the game toning down its dark and horror elements? Do you prefer the grounded, censored style, or the original eye candy designs? And do you think we'll actually get a toggle option later down the line?